thank you very much for inviting me here today. When people talk about digital and tech, they are thinking, quite often they think about some of the amazing ideas and technologies and new innovations and things, and they're thinking about those businesses. And recently I took over chairing the Tech Southwest group, and we put a call out to ask for some really interesting case studies, and we had dozens of amazing stories come in. And for example, I think they may be here, an IoT company that's doing a monitoring system, dashboard, they're called, and they're doing this system that will monitor pipelines across the world. And from the Southwest, we can actually grow businesses that can go completely global and can generate amazing revenue opportunities, but bring that back so we've got jobs for our community here. So we think about the tech sector and digital like that, but I think we also need to think about every single business outside of the tech sector, whether or not it's tourism or agriculture or health or care or et cetera, et cetera. Every single business can add some technology to what they do, and that technology will make that business more efficient, more productive, and therefore they will have a greater impact on GVA. They'll help the government achieve improved productivity targets. And ultimately, we need to be thinking about this, if we're going to have a digital theme and a technology theme for the Southwest, we need to be thinking about it, making sure that engages with every single business, because it will help every single business that decides to move forward with it. Obviously, there's the horrible Brexit word. I certainly, as the president of the Cornwall Chamber of Commerce, I certainly hear a lot of businesses feeling like they are being dragged backwards they're having to swim against a tide which is drawing them backwards. I think we also need to actually recognise that every time you have a negative, there's an opportunity to actually try something different and turn something around, try a fresh approach. And technology, when you start adding that into those businesses, actually allows every business to have that opportunity to, no matter what they're up against, to actually move forward. I often hear people talking about, can't we have HS3 or 4 or 7 or 10 or whatever? In reality, the billions that it would cost to actually get a high-speed rail link down to Penzance would just not actually give the return on investment. I think we have to be quite clear about that. We can improve certain infrastructure, but ultimately, if we actually put a fraction of that investment into improving fibre broadband, 5G, digital infrastructure, then we could be so much further forward. I think we remember when the EU investment went into superfast broadband in Cornwall. We've now got 30% FTTP connectivity. Our speeds went from 20 milliseconds to London to 5 milliseconds to London. So that was a £53 million public investment that actually quadrupled the speed of us getting to London. We go to Tokyo in 90 seconds, where one of our major customers are. When you have digital infrastructure, you can go anywhere in the world, you can work anywhere in the world, and you can deliver. We deliver software 18 times a day using continuous delivery, and around 8 global regions from Cornwall. And it's just so simple, it's so easy to do if you are at the cutting edge of technology and if we've invested in that area. I think super hubs are a great idea, 5G, FTTP. I'd like to see a new concept of connectivity as a service. So you actually pay for connectivity as part of your management service level. You can therefore, facilities managers, buildings can actually invest in technology infrastructure and connectivity in a different way, and therefore get a far better, provide better connectivity for people. When we talk about identify, I really love the idea of digital or technology connectivity. And have specific zones, but it has to be market-led. We have to be careful, with the greatest respect to all the councillors in the room, just because you want your town to be a digital hub doesn't mean a digital hub wants to be in your town. It's got to be market-led, and we've got to listen to businesses and let them steer where they want to have things. And I don't think one solution fits every single potential I don't think there is one solution for every single town or village or area. We need to look at different ways of doing this. Large businesses, small businesses will need different solutions in that area. The natural environment, which was talked about in the first panel, I think is incredibly important, actually. And it's incredibly important alongside tourism, actually, because tourism brings huge numbers of people to this region. And those people who, a lot of them come from the southeast, come down here on holiday, when they then realise that, oh, look, there's a fantastic job down here as well, then they actually see, wow, I could actually move to a lovely place, live in a lovely place, low crime rate relative to where I've come from, earn a reasonable amount of money, and have an amazingly rewarding career in the knowledge sector. That's not just tech, that's across any knowledge part, or the higher knowledge areas of any industry. And so that natural asset could actually be used to draw people out of the southeast. Our strategy as a business is to try and draw several thousand people out of the southeast and actually employ them in the southwest. And that will enable us to grow, obviously, quite significantly, but we think that's possible. It's a 0.1% of the tech sector, software sector in the southeast. If we're going to draw them to the southwest, then we're talking thousands and thousands of jobs. And that will in turn enable the aspirations for younger people to think, I can actually stay here. I can actually get, if I do the right course and I'm trained, then we can actually stay here. On education, therefore, I think we do need to. Sorry, I know you said I was going to be. I wouldn't upset you, but we need to redefine how education is created and delivered. And finally, the ask to government, actually, we need to explain just how effective this is. We produce £2,328 per square metre in taxation revenue to the Treasury. And hopefully, Philip Hammond would like to have a discussion about how we can increase that.
Brilliant. Thank you, Toby.